Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so why don't I make a cake for Valentine's Day? That's annoying. All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's having a great week. I'm excited today because I am gonna be back in the kitchen baking. And I was thinking last week how I baked for Christmas, but for me there's a difference between baking just a recipe and then creative baking. And I haven't done any like creative baking in a hot second, I would say. Specifically, I mean, I like to do it mainly with cakes because cakes, I feel like if you know the basics of all like the layers, if you know the basics of construction, you can have fun with flavors and you can get really, really creative. Because it's made up of a bunch of different elements, you can kind of do your own thing and fingers crossed it'll come together. And I don't think I've done that for a while, specifically on the channel. And I was thinking about it about like a week or so ago. And I was like, I want to do that. I haven't done that in a second. That'd be fun. And then I was like, or I could wait because Valentine's Day is going to be in like, I think this was 2 weeks ago. I was like, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So why don't I make a cake for Valentine's Day? That sounds, instead of just making a random cake, let's do it for something. And so that's what I'm gonna do today. I think I settled down on my flavors. I knew I wanted to do chocolate. I was trying to decide what kind of fruit I wanted to do. I decided on strawberries, classic chocolate strawberries, but I wanted to do something a little bit different because that's a little bit basic. And I was looking around at flavors and things that I thought would be fun. And I haven't made a like chocolate malted cake in a second. So that's what I'm gonna do. I thought chocolate malt obviously go well together. Malt and strawberry go well together. So I would assume that all three would go well together. I have ideas for the different components and how I wanna construct it. I ran to the store and got all the ingredients. And so that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna make a little Valentine's Day cake. Let's hop in the kitchen. The goal for today is to get everything baked, get all of the different components ready, and so that I can cool them overnight because it's really, really helpful if you're not rushing the process when you're making a layer cake. So I wanna get everything completed today so that I can construct it tomorrow. So let's go. All right, I am going to start with the cake, obviously, because that needs to cool the longest. I am gonna use Christina Tosi's cake recipe for her chocolate cake because I just generally, for most of my cakes, like her actual sponge cake. It always turns out really well. It takes a little bit longer to achieve, but it's usually worth it. I'll also go ahead and put all of the recipes or links to the recipes down in the description box below so that if you guys wish to try this, have at it. Let's go. Do you know how much eggs cost right now? We just hit 30 minutes with the cake. I'm gonna go ahead and test it and see if it needs another 5 minutes or so. Give it a little bit longer. Okay, cake is looking great. That went well. I'm gonna go ahead and make the milk crumbs right now, which are a thing that Milk Bar Christina Tosi does. I really, really love them. They add just a little bit of crunch and a little bit of like, I don't want to say saltiness, but just texture in between the layers. And I love them so much. I've been adding them to like every cake that I make. This one, because I am doing malt, I'm going to do malt crumbs. I'm going to add a little Ovaltine into the recipe. Super easy to make. Bunch of dry ingredients that you basically just pour some melted butter in, kind of toss so you get like a bunch of crumbs, put them on a baking sheet, throw them in the oven and bake at a really, really low temperature. And you basically are just, and once they come back out, you coat them in a white chocolate and you basically just get little hard little crumbs that just add so much really nice texture in between each of the layers. All right, we are cracking along. That's good to go. I need to make the strawberry filling now, and I also need to whip out the chocolate ganache filling. Those need to set overnight, and that is all I need to get done today so that tomorrow I can just get a running head start in constructing this cake. Good morning, guys. Now that all of the components have been made and chilled, we basically can start constructing this. There is one more thing that needs to be made that doesn't need to be chilled, and that is the buttercream frosting. We're doing a chocolate malt buttercream on the outside, and this should whip together pretty easily. So I'm gonna do that really quickly, and we can get this thing constructed. Ovaltine, please. You can see on this first layer I had some issues with the consistency of my ganache. It was just a little too cold still, so it made piping it a little bit hard. I warmed it up a little bit and it became much easier to pipe. All right, got the crumb coat on it. It's not looking incredible right now, but I'm hoping it's just the crumb coat, so hopefully once it freezes. I'm actually thinking I might do a mirror glaze on it if I can get the frosting pretty smooth. I think I'm gonna need to whip it again because I think there's a lot of air bubbles in it right now. But I think I might do a mirror glaze on it. The actual assembly didn't go too hard. I had a little bit of trouble, as you can tell, with the consistency of the ganache, but once I got it cooled down, it was just a little too hard. So once I got it cooled down to the right temp, then everything else just flew by, and I didn't have any problems since everything was nice and chilled. You know, none of the cake was sliding or anything like that. All the layers went together pretty easily. All right, so this is currently at about 165 degrees. I need this to get down to anywhere between 90 to 95 degrees before I can pour it over the cake. So we wait. I think we are there. Let's get ready. And quite honestly, I think I pressed my luck with the mirror glaze because everything else was going really well with this build. This mirror glaze came out really lumpy and just a mess. I did my best to try to save it, but not my best work, not my finest hour. If I could go back, I honestly probably would have just left it with the drips and not tried to cover the whole cake because the drips looked good at the beginning, but trying to cover the whole thing just became a gloopy mess. The original idea was just to be minimal and do the mirror glaze, but since that didn't go very well, I decided to add a little bit of decoration, some gold strawberry and some gold luster dust, because why not? Moment of truth. I mean, if I had any doubt, the strawberry goes so well with that malt flavor. especially because the chocolate ganache is so, you know, it's dark chocolate, so it's sharper. The malted frosting has like almost, I want to say like a saltiness to it, but balancing it with the strawberries. Not to toot my own horn, but oh my gosh. Good. It's so rich, decadent. Great Valentine's Day cake. Thanks for baking with me this week, guys. I had a lot of fun. It was good to be back and being creative in the kitchen. There are so many projects coming up. I have a full schedule. I can't wait to share them with you all. If you are not subscribed to the channel, do so now so you catch all of the projects, all of the vlogs. I'm gonna keep eating this cake. I hope everybody has a wonderful Valentine's Day, or if you're not celebrating, a wonderful Friday. Have a great day, guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys. I'm gonna keep eating. What am I gonna do with this cake?